What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to episode 97 of The Road to Glory, here with FC United of Manchester. Hopefully you guys are good. If you missed the previous upload, it was my first video back since my break. Go check that out as always. I know that sometimes people miss stuff in their subscription boxes, so if you did miss it, go back and check that out as always. Today, we've got the second leg of my UEFA Cup qualifying round. I decided not to bother doing the commentary over the first one because I wanted to see what was going to happen in the way of transfers, which as it turns out is not a lot. Just a quick look at our fixtures so far this year. There's only been a handful. As I said, this is going to be the second leg of the qualifying because last season we qualified for the Europa Cup, finishing 5th in the Premier League. So anyway, looking at our pre-season, pretty standard. We played a lot of smaller teams. One good result, though, was a home 3-1 win against Dortmund. Really good performance by the entire side. We did really dominate the game, it has to be said. So that was a really good performance to see. Gauthier getting man of the match really gave me a chance to kind of run out some players this pre-season, but that was a good result. And then onto the league. As you can see, so far we've played 2 games against Newcastle and Spurs. And, you know, a draw and a win is not too bad a start, if you ask me. A draw away at White Hart Lane was a really good result, and then following that up with a home win against Newcastle, you know, it's good, solid stuff. As I said, Europa Cup, we are playing Karpaty Lviv in, oh god, what a name, in the Ukrainian First Division. They finished 5th last year, I believe, as well in their league. So they've played a few more playoff legs before us. But nevertheless, it was going to be tough. You know, you never really know what to expect in the Europa Cup because sometimes in the playoffs you really get knocked out against teams you've never heard of. Fortunately, going into this leg, we do have a 3-0 lead. Good performance by the team here, but Peyrard grabbing 2, Nazarov grabbing 1 before the stroke of half-time to make it 3-0. And from there, we really just kind of sat back and dominated. They had no shots on target, which really kind of shows our dominance against them. Looking at the transfer centre, I'll just show you the transfer history. This season, not too much really to tell you about. A few regens coming in, which I mentioned last episode, and then a few players going out on frees. Moyano's gone out on a free. Incidentally, I am actually trying to re-sign this guy. He just one of these contracts which I just kind of slipped through the net. He wouldn't sign a new contract with me. He's now gone out on a free. No one else has picked him up. I've said I'm interested. I've actually offered him the exact same contract he had before, and he's now considering it. So hopefully we can grab him back because he is a good little player for us. Another product of our academy as well. So it'd be nice if we could get him back. And yeah, he's now playing for Argentina. His national team, which is a good thing. Josimar also went out here. This guy, 28 years old, he's gone for 2.7 million, I think, to Santos. Not a lot of money, really, but he wanted to go. I wasn't going to risk having an unhappy player at the club. He did a good job for us when he did play for us a few seasons ago. He was never really consistent. Obviously, this year just gone, I got Pavlenko in. He's been a fantastic signing for us and really kind of left Josimar on the bench. And it's also opened up some spots for the likes of Snusenberg, who is, of course, our former kind of championship goalkeeper. I think he came in the championship. In fact, looking at it, he's never really played for us, but he's been here since the championship. He came in on a free. He's been a good, solid keeper for the reserves teams for a number of years, so I'm hoping he can step up now as number 2. And then on the bench, we do have some other, you know, really talented goalkeepers, the likes of Scott Everington, who's the 19-year-old. He's the under-21 national goalkeeper for England. He's going to be a good goalkeeper in the future, I'm sure. So, although I didn't get much for Josimar, you know, getting him off the wage budget, getting, I guess, some opportunities for other players to come in, it's going to be good. Other players to leave on frees. Mark Roper, product of my own youth academy, is useless. Adrian Gill was released by Manchester United. I came in for him on a free. Not really made any impact in his 2 years. Never really developed, so I've just let him go. And then Geraldo's gone as well. 21 now, Geraldo. At the time of signing him, he looked like a really hot prospect for the future, coming in for £1 million, so let him go on a free, although it is a loss. It's not something I'm going to lose sleep over. A bit of a shame to see him not develop, but just one of those things. On the ins, as you can see, a number of regens. So a quick look at these. We have Alejandro Monti from Argentina. As you can see, he's dominated the under-20 setup for Argentina. He is a quality player. I'm hoping he's going to develop in our reserves. He's got all the makings of a really good, solid winger, maybe even an attacker in the future, depending on how he develops. But he's a good player to get in for 825k. We have Jordan Elana, who I covered last episode, 15-year-old centre-back, amazing talent. Jonas Holz, 15-year-old striker. My scouts aren't tipping him very well, and neither is my kind of assistant, only saying 3-star potential. I think he might have a little bit more to give than that, but only time will tell. And then other players we have, Roger even. He's not French, unlike half my signings. He's English, so his name is Roger rather than Roger. But this guy, 16-year-old, solid little creative centre-attacking mid, maybe a future there for him. Carl Clouds, future of English football, being tipped as quality little player. As you can see, 3 under-21 appearances and 1 under-21 goal at the age of 16. I'm looking forward to seeing him develop. And to be honest, I mean, you look at him, really solid mentals and really solid physicals. The only thing he really needs to work on is just his technical attributes, and that's something that will come with time and is very easy to kind of train into a player. Looking at positions he can play as well, it's pretty odd, but I am going to be focusing on him as a striker going forward. A few other players just really quick. Ellis Boyle, good little player. We also have Clint McGivern, another solid English youngster. And we've re-signed Vladimir Silkin. You guys may remember this guy from a few years ago. Got him in on a free. He's only on £11,000 a week, but he's played for us a few times on loan in the past. So to grab him on a free, having been released by Spartak Moscow, was a good bit of business on our behalf. He's going to offer Luke Shaw a little bit of competition for the left wing-back position. Obviously, Luke Shaw's now 30, so Silkin will be able to fill in if Luke Shaw just gets a bit tired or takes a knock, or, you know, if he really starts to have his stats deteriorate. But I have got options elsewhere as well as even further back up. I mean, if I show you the reserves, we have Ranjit here, who's a really good 19-year-old left-back who hopefully can, you know, also compete for the left-back position going forward. 1 more year, and I think this guy will really be a solid first-team kind of competitor for us. But I mean, that is the transfers really. There's not been too much to tell you about. As I mentioned last episode, because of the club's finances, I didn't really expect to see many transfers kind of go for us. I mean, if I show you quickly the finances, as you'll see, minus £3 million, but we are set to make a profit this year, which is a good sign. Hopefully a good run in Europe will also help us make some money. Looking at the overall confidence, just a quick look. Squad harmony is good. As you can see, wages is okay. Competitions is okay, of course. Competitions have only just started. And then club stats is absolutely superb for us. But I mean, looking at it, overall very solid. People are very, very excited with Monty signing. A few other players got a little bit more time to kind of, I guess, make their mark on the team. Obviously, a lot of these guys are youngsters. General players, no general stuff. But you can see Border just delighted with the transformation that's happened to the club. Obviously, I've been here and I started in 2013. It's now 2025, and in 12 years, have taken us from the third tier of non-league football in England all the way to the Premier League. And in the last 6 seasons, we've always finished in the top 12, and in the last 3 seasons, we've always finished in the top 8. In fact, no, the last 4 seasons we've always finished in the top 8. So we really are a solid top kind of Premier League team now, and it's up to us to really make an impact and just, you know, collect players, let our players develop, and hopefully just challenge for the table for the league 1 year, and then keep the momentum kind of going from there. But anyway, let's get straight into today's game. As I said, we are going to be playing Karpaty Lviv, who are a Ukrainian side. 3-0 off to the first leg. Payard's currently injured, so I do need to make a few rotational stuff changes. I'm gonna mix up a little bit. You know, we are a little bit far ahead here, and give a few players who aren't really playing too much first team football a chance to shine. Just mix things up. I'm going to play Checo slightly out of position. As you can see, he can only he's not very kind of competent playing centre mid, but I am currently training him to play there. So he's going to be coming in for us today as advanced playmaker. We'll have Rodriguez as box to box. You know, 2 very solid, physically fit, fast players. Hopefully they can help support João Jose and Alfredo Senior up front. And other than that, pretty standard team, I think. Obviously, Payard's injury isn't great, but he isn't out for too long, thankfully. I think it's something like 10 days he has left. So I'm very confident going forward. But we'll see how we get on today. Let's see, you know. It should be an interesting one, obviously. It's going to give a chance for a few kind of players to make their mark and hopefully state their claim for European football. So yeah, going to be interesting to see what we can really do here. I don't know what I really expect here. I mean, we are away, but we are going to have tricky ties, you'd think, in this kind of UEFA Cup run against sides away where we're kind of going to be expected to win, but we can't let kind of that overconfidence get the better of us. And Luke Shaw hitting the post there. Good little start for us. Looking at the stats, we are dominating there, yet to have a shot on target. which is good to see. But as I said, Europe this year is going to be an interesting one. Obviously, a few years ago we qualified for the Champions League, and we did fairly well in Europe, it has to be said. So I'm just kind of thinking with the Europa Cup, I'd like to see us kind of reach the late knockout stages. I kind of feel like quarterfinals would be a good thing to aim for. If we can do better, we'll do better. If we do worse, I'll be disappointed, but it won't be the end of the world. But that's kind of what I'm expecting in Europe. Quick little tip here as well, guys. So you'll see this game that I'm dominating it, but I've only had 2 shots on target from 11. One of the most useful shouts in this game, I find, is work ball into the box. It can really make a difference, especially if you're having tons of possession, but you're not doing anything with it. In this instance, we're not dominating possession, so I'm actually going to tell the team to get the ball forward as well. But we'll see what we can do now and see if my point is proven. So 2 shots off 11, and we'll see. We'll see how we get on here. Knowing my luck, this shout is not going to do anything for us, and I'm going to look like a goon. I'm going to make a quick sub here as well. I'm going to bring on Matty for Rodriguez, and we'll give Barbosa a run out up front just for the last kind of 14 minutes of the game. Oh, so, yeah, I mean, I'm really happy to get back into this save. Kind of the break that I had over the summer has really kind of renewed my interest in it and kept me kind of wanting to, I guess, plod on with this save and really make a success of it. I didn't really realise until I came back how good a side I had amassed and how it was just kind of a matter of time before I feel like we'll really challenge in the top of the table. And it's one of these things where I just got to hope that we steadily make progress. I can keep hold of the top players at the club and kind of just build upon season. And I'm really hoping within kind of the next 4 years we could really make a go of trying to win the table and maybe get some domestic cup glory in the next few years. Dzeko with a nice little goal there for us. Great finish. Good to see him grab that. But as I said, I just want to see us get some domestic success, because the last thing I actually won was a League One. Like 8 years ago. That's a long time to go without any kind of trophy. It's almost on par with Arsenal status. In fact, last episode, someone made me laugh kind of in the comments because they said I was like Arsene Wenger signing all these young players but winning nothing. I would like to really put that straight and hopefully get some success here. But it's looking like it's just going to end 1-0 on the night and 4-0 on aggregate. Good performance by the lads, though. Although we didn't really create too many chances, we completely dominated the game. They didn't have a shot on target across both legs, which is really good to see. And it was a really solid win in the end. So, good stuff there. Looking at it, we dominated for good large portions of this game. I'm just wondering when they do the draw for the main Europa Cup stage. So, we'll see what we can get here. I should also point out Glenn Stewart might be going out just because I promised him he'd leave. Trying to get 7 million for him. But as you can see, just for playing in the Europa Cup stage, we've got £1.13 million, which is a good little bit of money to make. And pretty exciting, if you ask me. Nenny was spotted at Ukraine. Nenny is the Brazil manager. João Jose, Checo and Luis Enrique all being eyed up, which is good. I mean, Luis Enrique, he had a tough time at the club, but he really has come through this kind of over the summer and since last January. And he is starting to kind of fight for a first team spot. Last year, he actually made 23 appearances, and he's been on great kind of progress since his signing from Fluminense, 3 years ago now. So I'm wondering when the group stage is drawn for the Europa Cup. I don't think there's another qualifying leg. I don't think there is. I might be completely wrong here. They'll be drawn on the 29th of the 8th. Well, it's the 29th of the 8th today. Let's find out the draw for this Europa Cup and see who we end up with in our group. I mean, I'm not really sure who's in it, so we'll kind of just go with the flow. That's the League Cup. I don't want to see the League Cup. I want the Europa Cup draw to happen. The League Cup's not exciting. We've got Torquay. Big clash that. Torquay, what division are you in on this? League One. They've actually been up into the Championship and struggled. That's a nice, easier tie, I suppose. All things considering for the League Cup. I would like to win something like the League Cup or FA Cup this year if possible. So, although I am going to be kind of trying to play my reserve players, my 2-star players who are kind of stacked in the reserves, I do want to play them in the League Cup. I would like to win it, so it's going to be kind of tricky to get a balance of the two, but we'll kind of just see how things go. Football Manager, please start responding again. Please. Don't crush on me. Can we? Oh, there we go. Okay, you've just had like 5 seconds of me saying like one or two words at a time. Liverpool are interested in Alfredo Jr. Well, it's going to take a bloody good bid to get him away from me, because he is a hot transfer for us. He's actually playing in the Spanish first team now. Where's the cup draw? Where is it? Have I missed it? You said it was today. You said the Europa Cup draw was today, game. I'm being lied to. There we go, it's today. I can't count my days, apparently. Okay, we've been seeded second for the draw, which is good, but let's see who we get in our groups. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of groups here. What am I going to ramble about for this time? Oh, automatic draw. Oh, the pressure's on. Oh, there's a lot of teams to draw here. I'm kind of tempted to speed it up. Let's see who comes out top of every group, because they're the first seeds. And then from there, I'll kind of think about what group I'd like. But looking at this, there's some tough teams in this group stage, and it's going to be tough. I mean, Stuttgart's probably the one that I'm looking at and thinking I wouldn't mind that group at the moment. Oh, blimey. Okay, there's some very strong sides in there. Oh, wow. Okay. Where are we going to come out then? If we get Atletico... Okay, I was thinking if we got in Atletico Madrid's group, we'd get to play Bocal, but that's now not going to happen. We are seeded second. Don't put me in Napoli's group or Tottenham. I don't think I can get put in Tottenham's group. Oh, God. Don't put me in Marseille's. We're in Marseille's group. I know that always happens. Marseille are probably one of the strongest teams in there. That's a bit annoying. I'll just draw all teams. Let's see what our group looks like. We have Martimo and FC Zurich. So that's a fairly kind group, it has to be said. I mean, as you can see, I can't pronounce this team's name. They finished fifth, like, for the last... That's weird as hell, because I know that isn't, like... You'll see here, teams can actually finish random positions, but they've actually finished the same position for the last 12 years. Oh, dear. That's kind of funny. But no, we've got them and FC Zurich. So... That's a fairly nice group all in all. I mean, you've got to remember that we are, although we're playing in the Europa Cup now, it's the Europa Cup, not the Champions League, so there are some odder teams in there. But I guess it gives us some pressure to succeed against them. I'm hoping we can do that going forward. But anyway, I think that just about wraps up this episode. I think next episode I might do both the Manchester United and Manchester City games as kind of a double episode. A few interesting times beforehand, so it'll be interesting to see how we fare there. But guys, I'm going to wrap it up for now. As always, if you've enjoyed the video, give it a cheeky like. Other than that though, it is me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in just a bit. I'm out.